we call known as the Shaolin Church. Because I actually trained at Shaolin too. We call known as the Shaolin Church. We call known as the Shaolin Church. They bring up all the different characters. Okay, so the one on the bottom, that's the fat Buddha. That's the Maitreya in China. That's different. Korea Buddhism does not depict him like that. He's skinny. He's too skinny in Korea. That boy needs some weightlifting, okay? Because he's definitely like father's. Father was a wrestler, daggone it, champion wrestler. But the one on the bottom, that's the Maitreya in China. So I had to make sure. I had to confirm many times with multiple artists. Make sure. Are you sure this is how you do Maitreya? And they're sure. Okay. And that's Damo Dashi. He's the founder of Shaolin Temple. All martial arts. The legend is all martial art in the modern day, all Japanese, jujitsu stuff. It stems from Shaolin Temple, all that. So from the 6th century, on. What is it? No, 1600 or so. It's from 4th century, 5th century. And I also trained at Shaolin Temple, right? Father sent me to Shaolin, and I trained at Shaolin Temple with the monks. De Chao Sinim was my sifu. I didn't spend 6 years there. I don't know how that mythology formed, okay? I keep on telling the Chinese, they keep on telling everybody, the second king spent 6 years at Shaolin Temple. That's why he speaks such good. I said, bro, I never said, how you get to 6 years, man? It was 3 weeks, dog. I don't know how it gets to 6 years. Golly. Y'all got to calm down a little bit. Jeez. 6 years. Gee. Okay. But I did train. We did find the pictures. My son found the pictures of me training Shaolin. I'll put them up soon. Of the Shaolin as Damo Dashi. So this is also very good. Unlike traditional martial art of other nations in East Asia, like you look at the traditional martial arts of Korea or Japan. I mean, Japan is different because they have the katana and stuff like that. But Korean traditional martial art is more like empty hands combat stuff, or kicking based, right? Chongdosul or these kind of stuff. There's not really a heavy weapons thing. But what I love, even though the Shaolin empty hand stuff is a joke, it's ridiculous. Even though the monks do practice sanda, which is kickboxing. It's an actual type of kickboxing, they punch you in the face, everything, right? So they actually do type of kickboxing with throws. That's called Chinese sanda, Chinese kickboxing. They have matches and fights and stuff. But traditional forms are not made for actual fighting, even though they're called Chinese boxing, Shaolin boxing, whatever. They're not for actual fighting. They're more for strengthening while doing the long hours of meditation and training. You understand what I'm saying? That's why they look beautiful, but they're more dance. They're not really martial in that sense, okay? Now, the weapon stuff you can definitely use. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. When I was doing Hokushintoryu with, Tato Sensei in Japan, who was on our security team, he was a 4th degree in Hokushintoryu Iaido, so that's live blade Japanese master. And we used to spar all the time. And I would do crazy stuff, Chinese wushu, and I would get him. He'd get my ass too, but I get his ass too. Okay. Okay. But because these are stuffs that he did not see. He did not see before. Okay. Or they're little very different. And so you could definitely use them. And of course, the nice thing about Shaolin Kung Fu is they use weapons as a big part of their whole repertoire. It's like the 18 weapons. So the whole weapons culture is different. That's really good for preparation for a Radhabarian culture, because all it is the same. It's just modernized technology, right? That's what the rifle is. It's just a modernized weapon, right? Traditionally, Buddhist monk cannot use weapons or sharp-edged weapons or blades. They're supposed to be pacifists and they can't kill anybody, right? But that's the unique thing about Shaolin. The monks they actually have all the weapons, every type of technology that was available at the time. They use every type of crazy and insane weapons, right? That you would never see that any form of Buddhism anywhere else, where the monks are running around with weapons like that. You never see that anywhere in Thailand Buddhism, Burma Buddhism, Theravada Buddhism, Indian Buddhism. You never see that anywhere. It's so unique to China. It's so unique. And the fact that it is, in the medieval period, they had the wars during the China. And the monks were known just with they call it a demon staff, because they would whoop the warriors with just a wooden staff. So these monks, they have some mystical power on the demon staff, killing us with a stick. So it just became so legendary, right? And so the emperor rewarded them, and he allowed them the permission to have military weapons. It became actually a military outpost. It was a temple, but it was like a military outpost. So it's such a wacky form of Buddhism, honestly speaking. It's such an anomaly in all the Buddhist world. There's nothing like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because Buddhism is a meditative, passive tradition. The Sakyamuni Buddha was not running around with a freaking halberd in his hand, running around with 2 Chinese swords. Like, you never will see that anywhere else in the world, entire world of Buddhism, but China. But think about it, for the Rod of Iron Kingdom, what a great preparation. It's the only form of Buddhism that completely has not only normalized weapon, but celebrates it as their heritage. Oh my gosh, I mean, what the hey? What the hey? I never heard of anything like that, okay? So for the future, when China gets liberated from CCP and becomes a free country and becomes a Rod of Iron Kingdom, hey, what a great foundation that is. Because now all the monks can go from the spears and the bows and the halberds to the pew-pew. And we'll train them. We'll do cross-training with them. Our young people can go training in the weapons, and they come train with us and do the Rod of Iron Kingdom. Wonderful. What's a wonderful? And then the commies can't come up again, right? But it's such a unique form. But again, what a great preparation. So the fact that we're now known in that whole region, we're known as a martial arts church too, just like we are in the West. But we're known there because I'm posting all this stuff about the Shaolin and I'm an old grandpa here running around, jumping around with halberds and stuff like that, right? I'm posting that. So when we when we evangelizing and meeting people, it was, we do the training and this and that, and we have the jujitsu, but we have the training for the young kids, and that, and we become known as the Shaolin Church. Because I actually trained at Shaolin too, and I'm trying to get my shifu I'm trying to find the guy, but I can't because I can't I can't get into China right now. Okay, but I'm trying to get Duchao shifu come back and somehow maybe he can help us be on the martial arts board for the training. You know what I'm saying? That would be great. It would be wonderful if he was one of the real monk generation. He's 34th generation. He said I'm 35th, even though I trained with him for 3 weeks. So ridiculous. But he was the last generation before the Chai Coms came in and had put in Shi Yongxin, who is a total fraud, total fake. He's the abbot. He was the abbot. This is how incredible this is. True Fathers Kingship, go to China. We're doing the precondition, and we're starting up the kung fu training for the young kids, so that is a good witnessing tool and good evangelism tool. And we even did the lion dance. I never did that, but we just learned the lion dance with the local folks, and we incorporate all that heritage into the whole thing. And the Chinese people love it, especially the older folks that come and they see that, and the young kids, they love it when they see the lions jump in. Our young people doing a sword, and they're doing the staff, monk staff, and all that. And and those boys also, we train it, so we shave their heads, and they train it 2 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? Like a morning, they do a true love spinal cord meditation training, and they're doing a martial art training. So they're like, dang man, these guys are like, dang, right? So there he is. Okay, but. So the local Chinese people, they really can connect with that. They really respect that. because they kind of know we're like Korean church, but they're like, oh, how does your head abbot have all this Chinese stuff and like, you know, he's training a Shaolin, and he's teaching you kung fu, and you're doing a lion dance, but also you do jujitsu and MMA, and he's, you know, it's like, it's weird, it's kind of unique, and so they're like, this is quite interesting, right? And but the through this kind of training, we were putting out this kind of prayers and training, and of course after each one, you know, free China, things like that. Unbelievable. The abbot, the fake abbot, who was in there now almost 20 years. Ever since I was at Shaolin, all the monks were telling me that's the fake abbot, that's a communist abbot, right? They all hated him because they know he's a communist pimp. He's not a real monk. Okay, he's just doing the visuals for the CCP, and he was Shi Yongshin. Everybody knew he was a fake. Everybody knew he was a commie politician who was just walking around monkdom. So all the real monks hated him, and he actually pushed the real monks out to the backside. That's where I did training with Dojo Sunim, is in the backside, right? And like, anyways, the point is, this while we go to China, we're doing the prayer conditions, blah blah blah, and then we start doing the kung fu training, putting that stuff up. Shaolin Temple blows up from the inside. Shi Yongshin is totally disgraced. His career is he's done. He's now no longer the abbot. He had massive scandals where he was because he's a CCP official basically. He has multiple children with multiple women, all this stuff. Exactly what the monks were telling me 20 years ago. Okay, and it blows up. When does that blow up? It blows up exactly at the time that we in China and doing the kung fu training, and then Shaolin blows up. And now there's a new abbot in there who is way more. He's been ordained 30 years, so he's kind of a real one, and he's more of a scholar. So the Shi Yongshin was a CCP plant who tried to use Shaolin's legendary heritage to promote the CCP worldwide. Right, so he was a marketer, he was a businessman. He actually incorporated Shaolin as a business, and then exported it worldwide to try to basically make a positive view of the CCP worldwide. But of course, behind the scene, he was having babies with all these hoes, and he's supposed to be a monk. That's a bad monk. He needs some iron groin training.
하지만 빛이 강하면 그림자도 짙어지는 법. 그의 상화판은 끝없는 논란을 낳았습니다. 수억 원짜리 가사, 정부에서 선물 받은 고급 외제차. 스님도 공민이다, 사회에 공헌했으니 상을 받는 게 당연하다는 그의 말은 대중의 분노를 샀습니다. 사실 그의 추문은 10년 전부터 예고되었습니다. 2015년 그에게 사생아가 있다는 충격적인 폭로가 있었지만 당시에는 증거 불충분히로 넘어갔죠. 하지만 이번엔 달랐습니다. 중국 정부의 칼날은 그를 정조준했고 결국 불교계에서 가장 큰 처벌인 개첩 취소까지 당하며 승려의 자격을 박탈당했습니다.